Hi guys, it's Monday and week 14 of the series. Not quite the morning today, it's 2:30. I was in Cambridge at the weekend, so lots of travelling. I was absolutely so tired last night, so had a really long sleep. But yeah, we're on the indoor bike this morning. Weather's not great, but main thing is that I don't have a road bike to ride at the moment. So unfortunately on Saturday, hit some ice, went down quite badly, ended up bending the derailleur hanger. So I'm going to have to try and fix that this week. The bolts on the hanger are actually stripped, so I'm going to have to try and drill that out, drill off the head of the bolt, and then the hanger should come out. And I've got a new hanger that I got a while ago. So that should be relatively straightforward, but an extra thing to do. I'm planning on doing some Zwift Acedemy races this week. Gonna do the second race, cobbled climbs. So I'm doing that for the first time tomorrow, and then depending on how that goes, I might repeat it on Thursday. If not, if it goes really well the first time, I might repeat workout 4. Play it by ear really. Not too beat up from the crash. Slightly sore shoulder, knee, but nothing serious. My face took a big hitting, but it was mainly the bike that was damaged, I'd say. Thankfully escaped unscathed. Skidding on ice, you slide in the crash, dissipates the energy a lot better than if you're crashed in the dry, so thankfully not too beat up from the crash, but yeah, it's never fun. Working on with 3 hours on the bike today, on the indoor bike. So yeah, that's the bike on the stand there, because hanger's broken, so after I cleaned it on Saturday there was no point putting the wheels back on because the hanger's bent. Put all my wheels down there. I've been meaning to check the tension of the rear wheel on the 60s. After 3 or so rides I've had to tighten one of the spokes. It's going to be worth checking the tension of all the spokes and trying to get it more balanced, rather than one coming very loose and then tightening that after a ride. None of them have snapped yet, which is nice because I had that issue on the previous sets of wheels. Main thing is I'm feeling pretty good today. Doesn't seem like anything's hurting, or I get to spend some nice time in the time trial position, as I haven't really been able to do that for the last few weeks, as I've been, a lot of times when I've been riding indoors, it's been on the road bike for the academy workouts. Since it's my only option today, good to spend some time in the TT position. Think about if I want to play around with the adjustments more, etc. Lower the stack on the front, for example. It's dark outside now, about 10 minutes left, and then I'll be at 3 hours, and I'll hop off, aiming for 18 to 20 hours a week. 3 hours now is like the standard zone 2 ride I aim for, really. Could buy these new wheels on Zwift for the race that I'm doing tomorrow. I'll just have a check online of what gear's the best, because I got the Zwift Aero bike because that was considered a very good bike, especially for the level and the price, because I'm only level 10. These are the best best wheels for the level, and wheels actually seem to make quite a bit of difference in the racing, so I probably should have upgraded my wheels before doing the races last week. Just purchase those now. Just going to take the chain off to start addressing the issue with the replacing the derailleur hanger. And I kind of knew that my chain was a bit worn. And so yeah, just looking with the chain guide, it's a bit worn out. So gonna be worth. I've got a brand new Derailleur chain that I was thinking of prepping for when I do start racing on this bike. I think I'm going to go to Decathlon and get another KMC chain, which is what this chain is, and then prep the two together, put the KMC one on, and then in March or so when races start, replace that KMC chain with the Dura Race one that I'm going to prep. So prep it. When I say prep it, I mean do all the solvent washes to prep a wax chain to get it fully clean. Now that hanger definitely looks bent to me, so that's what I'm going to be replacing. If it is the case that the cage took some damage and the cage is actually bent, obviously I need to get a new cage, but there's no reason to suggest that the cage is actually bent, as when you take impact, it's meant to be channeled into the derailleur hanger.
for that reason. It's an easily replaceable part. Replace the hanger with the spare that I've got, and then hopefully it's the case that everything shifts back like it used to. Now the nuts on the hanger are completely rusted, and I've stripped the threads on them completely, which I knew. So yeah, gonna have to definitely drill it. So take the derailleur off and then drill those out, I reckon. Comparing the two, that I think it's noticeable that there is a significant bend in the old one. So hopefully that's the only thing that was ruined in the crash, because the derailleur itself has actually been scratched up a little bit. The brand new derailleur hanger is a bit scratched up because it was in a little baggie with the nuts used for it, and just having that in my saddlebag ended up scratching it up a little bit, but just cosmetic wear rather than the actual function, having anything against the function of the thing.
Morning guys, it's Tuesday, just starting my warm-up now. Then we're going to be doing the second race. It's a slightly longer race. It looks like there's less people doing it compared to the race I did last week. Sit with the group. If they're playing games or going too slow, then maybe go for my own breakaway. 3 climbs per lap, all steep ones, a bit longer. 3 laps total. Like I said, should be around 40 minutes, I reckon. An hour last night, an hour this morning, trying to fix the road bike. Still in the process of trying to drill out the bolts from the rear derailleur hanger. So just want to be really careful with it, drilling out them, making sure I'm just drilling metal and I'm not hitting carbon at all. So yeah, I'm going to be racing on the TT bike. Big front chainring, 58.2. Should be fine because I'm going to be doing enough power up the hills. In the other 2 races I was never dropping into my little ring anyway, so should be fine with the big ring. Could be a factor, and then a bit less stable on those base bars than just the typical drop bars, but it's not too bad. Finish the warm-up, just spinning around now, and then 9 minutes or so to the race. Or drop in the call room with 5 minutes to go. Got those new wheels on Zwift, which I should have definitely got before the other races, but oh well. If it goes really well today, then and there's no reason to repeat this race, could have another go at Rolling Highlands, the race number 1, see if we can get a better result. Not necessarily based on power, but having better equipment, able to conserve power, and then use that power that I've saved on those last 2 climbs. Can't be mad at myself for not buying a pair of wheels, you know, it happens. The main thing is I'm still able to race, which is good, and still able to ride my bike however much I need to, even if it is on the indoor trainer. But to be fair, 3 hours I was on the trainer yesterday didn't feel so bad. Like, that sounds a bit weird to say, but yeah, it didn't drag on as much as I feel like it normally does, which is a good thing. Just updating the weight for today. Feeling good, feeling ready for it. Keeping the protocol consistent now. Get the fan on full blast. Put my coat back on. Open up the doors. So then got maximum cooling ready to go, and then 45 seconds, a minute before the start, once I'm feeling warm, take the coat off. I've got the sweat towel around my neck already, because before I've left it on the side and had to reach back there to get it. We're a proper Zwift racer now. That was so hard, a lot harder than the other one. These longer climbs are awful. Yeah, got smaller group, smaller race, 30 people, still full gas from the start. And yeah, like on that first lap, so three climbs, got dropped on the second one, I think, second and third one. Spent the rest of that lap chasing on the downhill. So got back in touch with that group, stayed with them for the second lap, and then on the third lap it got to the first climb. Tried to gap it at the start to give myself a buffer, but yeah, they were just, those light boys are too strong. Their watts per kilo is so much better than mine. So yeah, I got dropped on that first climb, and then we're just having to ride tempo to finish the race basically. But yeah, fucking hard work that.
Jesus. The TT bike was not exactly optimal. That big chain ring was hard work. Also get into the easier gears at the back. And yeah, getting out of the saddle on the base bars, shaking the trainer way too much. End up shaking the ride platform completely out of the way, but yeah, trainer was still solidly in place, so it didn't matter too much. It's been nice to be on the road bike, but obviously it's a work in progress at the moment. Feeling absolutely drained. Getting dropped by my group ride already. Joining the group ride to keep me going, but they're going too fast. Hour and 20-minute cool down there, / banking more zone 2 miles in the bank, because I always needed. Reflecting on the race a little bit. Unlike the other one where I made some obvious tactical errors on the first go of it, that one not so much, I'd say, but I'm definitely going to have another go at it either on Thursday or Saturday maybe. Really conserve as much energy as possible going into the bottom of the climbs, and then understanding that I'm going to have to drill it at high VO2 max basically to stay with the group, maybe attack on that final flat / descent. But yeah, just rather than going for a good tempo throughout when I'm riding with the group, just try and sit in as much as possible. Try and get into low tempo. I don't know if that's going to be possible. It really depends on the group. I need to save more energy so that I can burn some matches on those climbs, because yeah, if I don't get over the climbs with the group, it's so hard to. Well, I have to put in so much more effort to catch back on. So yeah, we'll give another go at it, but it might be the case that this course is just so much harder for me and it really favours the lighter riders, but yeah, that's how it is.
Hi guys, it's Wednesday, it's 4 o'clock, had a bit of a lazy morning like Monday, where just didn't have a good night's sleep and got up quite late, decided to get stuff done in the morning before my ride, so I only just hopped on. Half an hour into the ride now, going to be bashing out just a 3 and a bit hour ride on the trainer again. I'm going to do another attempt at the race tomorrow. Got an idea of how I might be able to position better, but I think it's going to be more difficult than the first Zwift race. Difficult race, but need to have another go at it. Can't just be like, oh, it's not my style. You have to suck it up and try and get a better result, really. Heart rate's so low and under control today. Bit unnerving slightly. Quite cold. That's how I've kept t-shirt on when I'm on the trainer. I've only got the fan on the low setting. Lovely day outside today, but unfortunately I hadn't got had the bike finished, so we're reserved to the trainer today. And I knew that I'd be indoors, so was able to just be like, okay, walk the dogs in the morning and then go hop on, and it's going to be riding into the darkness. 2.5 hours in now. Heart rate's been very low the whole time. To be honest, I was freezing for most of the ride. Just put the doors open and the fan on the low setting, and it's like ice cold. My forearms are freezing. Just turn the fan off and shut the doors to try and warm up a little bit at the end of my ride and obviously getting a bit of a sweat on now, but wear some arm warmers or something. It's not stupid cold today, but you obviously want the fan on to circulate some air. Like riding with the fan off is not nice either. I seriously need to fix my bike so I'm not just Zwifting all week. It's like, will drive me insane.
I don't know how this metal is so soft. It's super easy to strip the threads, but then at the same time it takes absolutely forever to drill through. Like, I've been working at this for so long with this 4mm metal drill bit, and we'll get there eventually.
Hi guys, it's Thursday afternoon and we're on Zwift for another session today. Now, my original plan was to have another go at that Zwift race, the cobble climbs. I signed up to race at 1 o'clock. I had to sort out some things in the morning, which meant I knew I wasn't going to make that race, so pulled out of that one, and I'll do it later in the week, probably Saturday, and take this opportunity to have another go at the Tabata workout 4, and bump up the intensity for that. I did workout 4 a couple of weeks ago with FTP set to 400, and felt like there was a bit more in the tank there. So today I'm gonna have to have a think about it. I'm gonna set the FTP to 420, and it's gonna make it a really hard session. And if I can survive it, I'll be really happy with that. That'll be a good representation of where I'm at for that sort of session. Definitely not going to be easy. 400 watts is not easy, but 420 as the FTP is going to be very challenging. But definitely fitter than I was a couple of weeks ago, so I'd like to think it's possible. And yeah, just gonna have a go and find out really. Play around with the warm up a little bit more. Not have the fan on and only open the doors at the last minute, I guess, because I was getting really cold yesterday. It's good for power, could be fine during a workout, but you need a certain level of core body temperature to not feel absolutely horrible. Doing today's setting, so those efforts should be pretty tricky. Standard warm up, I'll do maybe 30 seconds at threshold and 6 sprints. That should be good to go for the Tabata session.
Okay, so this is what the workout's going to be with a 420 watt FTP. So it's going to be 560, 520, 480 for the 30 seconds, the 40 seconds, and the 1 minute effort. So significantly harder than last time, but yeah, we need to have a go at it to see if it's possible. And this should be the upper limit of what's possible for me, I reckon.
560, 515, and then 475. So quite like in erg mode now, because I can actually spin my legs. That's been the issue, just riding normally for the past few days with a massive front chainring. I'm just not at the cadence I want to be at, and 90 RPM feels way too low for me. Feels like I'm grinding. Survived the 30-30. That's pretty much on the limit, so I reckon I'll be able to finish the session, but it's not going to be easy. 40-40's done. Starting to burn at the end, but survived it. Key is just keeping on top of the gear, so for me 110 to 120 RPM and not letting it drop below that. Don't want to get in the spiral of doom. Going well. Heart rate doesn't get super high, only around 170. I think that's just the nature of these efforts. They're not long enough to really get the heart rate up. Maybe on these last 1 minute efforts I'll be high 170s, 180.
Got it done, baby!
Good job. Happy with that. Wasn't easy. Yeah. Just keeping on top of the gear. The main thing. So yeah. Workout 4 with a 420 FTP setting. That is good going. There we go. So very happy with that.
Yeah, so I've done the workout twice now, but it's coming up with the most recent one, so for today, so that's good. So don't have to worry about that one not counting for anything.
Another 70 minutes zone 2 to first of all cool down, and then obviously top up some zone 2 miles. So yeah, feeling good. Quads are a bit tired, but yeah, to be expected. Lots of lactic in that session. Hi guys, it's Friday. Another 3 hours on the trainer today. Pretty cold, so end up putting the jumper back on. Like an hour and 45 in now. With the weather, that my heart rate is like so low. There's no point riding tempo to get the heart rate to come up to my normal zone 2. So ride to power, and then heart rate's lower, but yeah, it's all right. Playing around with the TT bars again. I've dropped the amount of stack that there is on the front. So I dropped it from 40mm to 30. Just riding the bike this week, I felt like rolling my shoulders forward, it would have been more comfortable to be able to do that more effectively with slightly lower elbow position. So just remove the spacer, continue playing around with that. Might as well if I'm riding on the TT bike.
Five hours at 450 watts. Kudos to you, fella.
It's like a Zwift bot, or I have no clue. So random.
Just checked, and I actually have enough drops to get the next best bike, Canyon Air Road. So I'll go ahead and get that for the next race. I can get the next fastest set of wheels, but which is the Zip 808s, but they're quite a lot heavier, and the race is quite hilly, so I think I'm gonna stick with these DT Swift wheels for the race. But I'll get the Canyon, and then also I'll be able to put the paint job on it once I've finished. Once I've finished with Academy, or apply that paint job now. I don't think I have the paint job yet. Should be able to get these wheels tomorrow after doing the race. Oh no, we're moving to disc. We're on disc brakes now. Oh no, no more rim.
Morning guys, it's Saturday. It's absolutely freezing. Got a Zwift race today. Doing another attempt at cobbled climbs. So it's like 40 minutes or 35 minutes to warm up now. And I really need to warm up, that is today. The game plan for today is to conserve as much energy for the climbs as possible. So even though on the flats and on the downhills, that's where I'm going to be stronger than my competitors, I'm going to try and sit in and not do as much power, try not to get carried away at all, just keep drafting them, and then really have the matches to burn on the climbs. First climb's around 90 seconds, so aim for about 500 watts, short rest, and then there's a 30-second climb, and I think that's going to be, based on last race, that was more decisive, so really need to get after it on that climb, so aim for around 700 watts on that. The long downhill flat section, and then the final climb is around 2 minutes long, so aim for high 400s, ideally 500 watts on that climb. Small field, obviously want to try and win the race. Racing it tactically, I'm going to try and win, because I'm probably not going to be doing my best numbers if I'm sitting in the pack. I've already done some really good numbers in the other races, so now it's time to try and race it tactically and go for the win. The plan of attack will be get over the first 2 climbs on the final lap, and then on that downhill descent section go for a breakaway, use my power, and then hold on that final climb. Hopefully I've got a decent gap by then, but yeah, we'll just have to see who turns up on the day. Warm up finished now, 10 minutes to go before the race, so I'll crack open all the doors, fan on max, put the coat back on, and then get ready to go. Whew. Just want to have a better result than last time, that's the main thing. All goes well, this is the last race in Zwift Academy for me. Still workouts next 2 weeks, so let's make it count. Nice and relaxed and under control for the first 5 minutes, and then my fucking Bluetooth cuts out. Right, if I'm going to have a Bluetooth failure, I'd rather it be at the start, because I was 5 minutes into that race and I was conserving as much energy as possible, so I was basically just riding tempo. So yeah, I haven't burnt any matches really, so I think what I'm going to do is do one of the workouts. I know I'm doing workout 1 and workout 3 next week, but I could do workout 3 now. Yeah, because I'm like hacked up and ready to go, so I need to use that. Like I've taken a caffeine tablet and I'm really well warmed up, so then I can try again and do the race next week. Yeah, so I'm actually going to have a go at workout 1, so it's literally just warm up, 2 30-second max efforts, and then 2 2-minute max efforts, and then some easy tempo at the end. So I'll do that, and then it's a different type of stimulus rather than like lots of training. It's just a test, so I might do a tempo ride after that as well. There we go, let's get after it. I'm going to aim for around 700, 800 watts for the 30-second efforts and 500 plus for the 2 minutes. So yeah, it's not going to be easy. Well, yeah, it's just going to be an all-out effort and see how I can do. Done the primers, so actually just putting the coat back on now because I've got 7 minutes of zone 2 with the door open and the fan on max. I'm not going to be warm, so I'll take this off probably 2 minutes before the start of the first 30-second effort. Whew, feeling good. So hard, so anaerobic. Just over 800 watts for the first one, and then just under 800 for the second. Paced them well. 215 watts just after the effort on erg is criminal though. Happy with that. Absolutely empty the tank. Water's never tasted so good. I think it's 550 on the first one, 560 on the second. Unlike the 30 seconds, I felt like I was able to recover between them, which is nice. just a 20-minute tempo now, shouldn't be too bad. Feeling refreshed now after that recovery. There we go. I'd say that tempo effort was harder than expected because I did the 6-minute cool down after the second 2-minute and I felt alright, but thinking back to my athletics, like after doing an 800 metre, so like a 2-minute effort, no chance was I was a puddle on the floor. No chance was I going for another max 2-minute effort 6 minutes later, let alone thinking about doing a tempo straight after that next effort. So yeah, obviously the session, I knew I had to finish the session, so you power through the rest period, and you go for the next effort, but so obviously you like must auto-regulate it inside you, even though it feels like you're going max effort. If you're doing a singular one where there's nothing afterwards, like surely you'd be able to push more watts, even though you feel like you're doing a max effort. I'm very happy with that session. Yeah, I went hard, and that tempo is harder than expected. Like 160 BPM for 330 watts, whereas like when I did workout 5 a few weeks ago, I was around 150 BPM for 340 watts for half an hour. So yeah, it just shows that even though they're very anaerobic efforts, it absolutely destroys part of your aerobic engine as well. Glad I was able to do a session after the Bluetooth cut out, and I wasn't able to do my race though. So yeah, I found a way to work around the issues I was having. Sat down for a couple of minutes after that session. I forgot how cold it is. Getting back on the trainer, I need to put the coat on, just on the fan on the lowest setting. Another 70-minute zone 2 there to end the week. Yeah, obviously been indoors all this week, so not ideal, but still managed to keep up the miles. Did 18 hours of work done and did 3 sessions, so that's good. Doing more intensity than usual, bring down the miles a bit. Happy with all the sessions I did this week, so can't complain really. I should be able to get out on the bike a few times at least. Fingers crossed, you know. So